And Jacob dwelled in the land of his father's sojourning, in the land of Canaan. This is the lineage of Jacob. Joseph, 17 years old, was tending the flock with his brothers, assisting the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, the wives of his father. And Joseph brought ill report of them to their father, and Israel loved Joseph more than all his sons, for he was the child of his old age, and he made him an ornamented tunic. And his brothers saw it. Was he their father loved more than all his brothers? And they hated him, and could not speak a kind word to him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and told it to his brothers, and they hated him all the more. And he said to them, Listen, pray to this dream that I dreamed. And look, we were binding sheaves in the field, and look, my sheaf arose and actually stood up. And look, your sheaves drew round and bowed to my sheaf. And his brothers said to him, Do you mean to reign over us? Do you mean to rule us? And they hated him all the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream, and recounted it to his brothers. And he said, Look, I dreamed a dream again, and look, the sun and the moon and 11 stars were bowing to me. And he recounted it to his father and to his brothers. And his father rebuked him and said to him, What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall we really come, I and your mother and your brothers, to bow before you to the ground? And his brothers were jealous of him, while his father kept the thing in mind. And his brothers went to graze their father's flock at Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, You know, your brothers are pasturing at Shechem. Come, let me send you to them. And he said to him, Here I am. And he said to him, Go, pray to see how your brothers fare, and how the flock fares, and bring me back word. And he sent him from the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a man found him, and look, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What is it you seek? And he said, My brothers I seek. Tell me, pray, where are they pasturing? And the man said, They have journeyed on from here, for I heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brothers, and found them at Dothan. And they saw him from afar before he drew near them, and they plotted against him to put him to death. And they said to each other, Here comes the dream master. And so now let us kill him, and fling him into one of the pits, and we can say, A vicious beast has devoured him. And we shall see what will come of his dreams. And Reuben heard, and came to his rescue, and said, We must not take his life. And Reuben said to them, Shed no blood. Fling him into this pit in the wilderness, and do not raise a hand against him, that he might rescue him from their hand, to bring him back to his father. And it happened, when Joseph came to his brothers, that they stripped Joseph of his tunic, an ornamented tunic that he had on him. And they took him and flung him into the pit. And the pit was empty. There was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread. And they raised their eyes and saw, and look, a caravan of Ishmaelites was coming from Gilead. Their camels bearing gum and balm and ladanum on their way to take down to Egypt. And Judah said to his brothers, "What gain is there if we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and our hand will not be against him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." And his brothers agreed. And Midianite merchantmen passed by and pulled Joseph up out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph to Egypt. And Reuben came back to the pit, and look, Joseph was not in the pit. And he rent his garments, and he came back to his brothers, and he said, "The boy is gone, and where can I turn?" And they took Joseph's tunic and slaughtered a kid and dipped the tunic in the blood, and they sent the ornamented tunic and had it brought to their father, and they said, "This we found. Recognize, pray. Is it your son's tunic or not?" And he recognized it, and he said, "It is my son's tunic. A vicious beast has devoured him. Joseph is torn to shreds." And Jacob rent his clothes and put sackcloth round his waist and mourned for his son many days. And all his sons and all his daughters rose to console him, and he refused to be consoled. And he said, "Rather, I will go down to my son in Sheol mourning." And his father keened for him. But the Midianites had sold him into Egypt to Potiphar, Pharaoh's courtier, the high chamberlain.